all and welcome to Thursday's Bulletin with me, Richard Edwards. A depressed pensioner bludgeoned his wife of almost 60 years to death before drowning himself. Police discovered the body of retired sales rep Doreen Mann, 80, sprawled in the living room of the house she shared with husband Kenneth. The retired factory owner, 81, was found dead upstairs, face down in a bath full of water, wearing only his vest and underpants. Yesterday's inquest at Huddersfield Coroner's Court heard how Mr Mann became depressed after he sold his business in 2000. Mrs Mann died as a result of a blow to her head and cuts to her neck and forearms. A hammer and craft knife were found at the scene. West Yorkshire Coroner Roger Whittaker recorded a verdict that Mrs Mann was unlawfully killed and that her husband had drowned. An entire section of the M1 motorway was sealed off last night after a lorry carrying bottles of wine and sherry caught fire, the flames spreading to nearby fields. The heavy goods vehicle burst into flames at around 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday night on the hard shoulder of the southbound carriageway between junctions 47 near Garforth and junction 48. The driver was unhurt, but the motorway was sealed off in both directions for more than 2 hours. A man armed with a screwdriver held police at bay for 4.5 hours after barricading himself on the balcony of his flat. Officers laid siege to the first floor flat in Driglington on Wednesday morning after being called by the ambulance service. Neighbours in Kingsway were evacuated and the road was closed to traffic and pedestrians at both ends by the police. The man ended the siege at 2:30 and he was detained by police under the powers of the Mental Health Act. In sport, striker Mike Grella has agreed a new 3-year contract with Leeds United. The American forward put pen to paper at Elland Road after earning himself a long-term deal to replace the original 18-month contract he signed in February. The offer was a reward for the 22-year-old's encouraging performances during pre-season, and Grella said he was absolutely delighted. England World Cup winner Andy Gummersall has been persuaded to delay his retirement to join Leeds Carnegie's Premiership crusade. The vastly experienced ex-Harlequins Gloucester and Bedford pivot, capped 35 times by England, has penned a 1-year deal and will serve as a playing mentor to existing number 9s Joe Bedford and Scott Mathy. Gummersall is likely to make his debut at this weekend's Middlesex Sevens at Twickenham. And now it's over to Liz with the weather.
Thank you, Richard. Last night you might have been lucky enough to see a meteorite shower, and I'm told it was very spectacular, although in parts of Leeds which had light pollution you probably wouldn't have seen too much. Today, well, it's really a nice day to start with, but later on we're going to get some cloud, and I'm afraid we're only going to get temperatures of about 20 degrees because the sun won't be shining. Tomorrow, another nice day to start with, and then more cloud moving in across the afternoon. So, again, a temperature of about 19 degrees tomorrow. And now back to the studio.
And finally, a very special dynamic duo turned heads in one corner of Leeds after lookalike relatives Lily Allen and Elvis were reunited. Professional Lily Allen lookalike Pebbles Thompson is joining forces with her uncle Aaron Stewart, who has spent his life impersonating the King for a charity gig on September the 4th at the Manor in Farsley to raise money for cancer charities. For more on these and the latest news and sport, pick up a copy of tonight's Yorkshire Evening Post. That's all for now. I'm Richard Edwards. Goodbye.